Tom Reed rubbed his tired eyes as he stared at the glowing screens before him. The night shift at Outpost Station Delta was usually quiet, but something about today's readings caught his attention. The energy signatures pulsing across his monitor didn't match any known spacecraft patterns in the database. "That's odd," he muttered, reaching for his third cup of coffee. The station's massive detection arrays were picking up something big, moving fast through the outer edges of human space. Tom had worked as a sensor analyst for 5 years, but he'd never seen anything quite like this. The emergency communication channel suddenly burst to life, making him jump. A stern voice filled the control room. "Priority alert to all human stations. This is the Galactic Council. DDTKTC-X-Hereditary Species entering CC2R7. Immediate evacuation recommended. This is not a drill." Tom's heart raced. Everyone knew about Class X species, the deadliest predators known to the galaxy. But none had ever been seen in human space before. His hands flew across the control panel, trying to get a better reading on the approaching object. The station's AI spoke next. "Attention all personnel. Emergency evacuation protocols initiated. Please proceed to escape pods immediately. Station lockdown in 30 minutes. Around him, warning lights flashed red as his fellow crew members rushed to gather essential items. "Tom, what are you doing?" shouted Bill, his supervisor, from the doorway. "The evacuation pods are waiting." "Just 5 more minutes," Tom called back, his eyes fixed on the readings. "These energy patterns, they're like nothing in our records. We need this data." "Your funeral," Bill replied, shaking his head as he hurried away. "Don't be a hero. Reed, get out while you can." But Tom couldn't leave. Not yet. As a scientist, this was the opportunity of a lifetime. The mysterious ship was now close enough for visual scanning. He activated the long-range cameras, and his breath caught in his throat. The vessel that appeared on his screen was beautiful and terrifying. It looked like a massive crystal, at least 3 times the size of Earth's largest battleship. Its surface sparkled with what appeared to be millions of light points, shifting and flowing like stars in motion. No straight lines or traditional engine ports were visible. It was organic, alien, and absolutely mesmerizing. Recording all frequencies, Tom said to himself, his fingers dancing across the controls. The station felt eerily quiet now, with most of the crew gone. He could hear the distant sound of the last escape pods launching. The AI spoke again. "Warning. Station lockdown in 5 minutes. Remaining personnel must evacuate immediately." Tom started downloading the sensor data to his portable drive. Just as he was about to finish, something new appeared on his screen. The mysterious ship was changing course, heading directly toward the station. His heart pounded against his ribs. The logical part of his brain screamed at him to run, to take the last escape pod and flee. But his scientific curiosity held him in place. The ship was now close enough that he could make out more details. The light patterns on its surface weren't random. They were moving in sequences, almost like, "It's trying to communicate," Tom whispered in amazement. The massive vessel came to a stop just 2 kilometers from the station. Up close, it was even more impressive, its crystalline surface refracting the light from nearby stars in dazzling patterns. The station's AI made its final announcement. "Warning. Final escape pod launches in 60 seconds. Station lockdown imminent." Tom looked at the escape pod bay on his screen, then back at the mysterious ship. The collected data showed no signs of weapons charging or aggressive movements. Making a decision that would change human history forever, he switched off the evacuation warning and began reconfiguring the station's communication array. "Well," he said to the empty control room, "either I'm about to make first contact with a Class X species, or I'm about to become the galaxy's most interesting breakfast." He took a deep breath and started typing. "Unknown vessel, this is Human Outpost Station Delta. We are receiving your signal." The crystal ship's surface erupted in a dazzling display of lights, and Tom Reed's greatest adventure began. The crystal ship's outer surface rippled like water under moonlight. Tom watched from the station's observation deck as a section of the hull melted away, forming a smooth tunnel. His sensors detected movement inside. Recording all channels, he said to himself, a habit from years of working alone on night shifts. The station's lights automatically dimmed in response to the intense glow coming from the alien vessel. A figure emerged from the ship, and Tom's mouth went dry. The creature was huge, at least 9 feet tall. Its body was covered in overlapping plates that looked like black diamond, each edge sharp enough to cut through steel. As it moved, patches of bright colors flowed across its surface like oil on water. "Well, that's terrifying," Tom muttered, trying to keep his hand steady on the controls. The being's head had no visible eyes, just more crystalline plates arranged in a pattern that reminded him of a crown. 4 arms ended in gleaming claws that could probably tear through the station's hull like paper. The creature floated through space toward the station's main airlock. Tom noticed something odd about its movement. It seemed to favor its right side, moving with what looked like pain or difficulty. The beautiful lights across its body flickered unevenly. His communication panel lit up with urgent messages from Earth Command. Outpost Delta, EVHCUBA, MMEDA, T. Eli. Read, this is a de receipt order. Abandon station. Kilas X Cite El Kior Species, to open firearmed, extremely dangerous. Do not ATMPTC on it. Tom muted the warnings. The alien had reached the airlock and was examining the control panel. To his surprise, it didn't try to break in. Instead, it raised one hand, producing patterns of light that matched the station's emergency beacon frequency. It's asking for permission to enter, Tom realized. His heart raced as he made the biggest decision of his life. He pressed the airlock release. The station's AI protested. Warning. Safety protocols violated. Unknown biological entity entering station. Through the internal cameras, Tom watched the massive creature duck to fit through the station's corridors. Its movements were careful, almost gentle, despite its fearsome appearance. The flowing colors across its body had shifted to softer blues and greens. When it reached the observation deck's sealed door, Tom stood up. He was either about to make history or become a cautionary tale about foolish humans who trusted space monsters. The door slid open. Up close, the alien was even more impressive. Its crystalline body seemed to absorb and reflect light in impossible ways. Tom noticed dark cracks running along its right side, damage of some kind. The creature raised its upper arms in what looked like a peaceful gesture. Its lower arms stayed close to its injured side. The pattern of lights across its surface changed to a steady rhythm. Tom's modified communication system began translating the light patterns into basic concepts. Help, damage, no threat. You're hurt, Tom said slowly, pointing to the cracks in the alien's armor. That's why you're here. The translator processed the creature's response. Yes, pursuit damage. Seeking repair. Pursuit? Tom asked. Something was chasing you. Before the alien could respond, the station's sensors blared a new warning. 3 more crystal ships had appeared at the edge of the system, larger and darker than the first. The alien's surface erupted in rapid pulses of red light. The translator struggled to keep up. Danger. Hunters. Must hide. Tom quickly checked his screens. The new ships were moving fast, their energy signatures matching known attack patterns. He looked back at the injured alien, remembering all the stories about the stalker species, apex predators that hunted for sport across the galaxy. But the being before him wasn't acting like a mindless killer. It was injured, afraid, and asking for help. My name is Tom, he said clearly, placing a hand on his chest. And I think we both need to figure out a way out of this mess. The alien's lights shifted to a soft purple color, Through the translator came a single word that would change everything. Swift. Outside the station, the three hunter ships drew closer, their crystal surfaces dark with purpose. Time was running out for the unlikely pair. Tom's fingers flew across the control panel as he worked to hide Swift's damaged ship behind the station's energy field. The three hunter vessels were getting closer, their dark crystal surfaces absorbing nearby starlight. Emergency broadcast from Earth Command, the station's AI announced. The angry face of Commander Peters appeared on the main screen. "Reed, have you lost your mind?" the commander shouted. "Our sensors show a Class X predator on that station. Initiate security protocols immediately." Tom glanced at Swift, who was watching the screen with head tilted. The alien surface rippled with concerned orange patterns. "Sir, it's not what you think," Tom replied. "The situation is complicated. Swift is injured and needs help." "Swift? You named it." Commander Peters looked like he might burst a blood vessel. "These creatures hunt entire species for sport. The Galactic Council has classified them as the most dangerous predators in known space." Swift's translator lit up. "Others hunt. Swift different. Escaped from clan. Need help." The commander's face went pale at hearing the alien's communication. "Reed, you have 10 minutes to lock down that creature and prepare for a military boarding party." "That's an order." The screen went dark. Tom turned to Swift, whose colors had shifted to deep blue tones that the translator indicated meant worry and fear. "I'm not locking you up," Tom said firmly. "But we need a plan. Those ships will be here in less than an hour." Swift moved to the station's main window, crystal plates shifting to reveal complex machinery beneath the damaged section. The translator processed the alien's light patterns. "Can repair. Need tools. Materials." Tom nodded and pulled up the station's inventory on his tablet. "The maintenance bay has industrial repair equipment. We might be able to adapt it to." The station shook as a warning shot from the approaching hunters passed nearby. A new message flashed across Tom's screen. "Surrender the defector. They're jamming our communications with Earth," Tom said, checking his instruments. "We're on our own." Swift's colors shifted to a determined red pattern. "We'll understand if human Tom wishes me to leave." Tom looked at the massive alien being. Despite its terrifying appearance, he'd seen enough to know Swift was different from the hunters. Maybe it was the scientist in him, or maybe humans really were just crazy enough to befriend anything. But he'd made his decision. "Not happening," Tom said. "Let's get you fixed up. Follow me to the maintenance bay." They worked quickly. Tom discovered that Swift's crystalline body wasn't just armor. It was a complex living technology. The damaged sections contained what looked like organic circuitry, pulsing with energy. "Fascinating," Tom muttered as he adapted the station's repair tools to work with Swift's unique biology. "Your people evolved this technology." Swift's translated response came while they worked. "Born with it. Grows with us. But clan uses it only for hunting. Waste of potential." Another blast rocked the station. The hunter ships were getting bolder. "Warning," the AI announced. "Station shields at 60% and falling." Tom had an idea. "Swift, could we modify your ship's energy signature? Make it look like you've already left the system." The alien surface lit up with interest. "Yes, but needs station power. Dangerous for humans." "More dangerous than 3 angry hunters?" Tom asked with a grim smile. "Let's do it." They worked against time, connecting Swift's ship to the station's power grid. Tom's hands were shaking, but his mind was clear. He'd broken every protocol in the book, ignored direct orders, and was now helping a Class X predator. Yet somehow, it felt right. Swift's colors suddenly shifted to bright silver. A warning. The translator sparked. "Tom, they know." The nearest hunter ship had moved into position above the station. Its surface was shifting, forming what could only be weapons. A deep, thunderous sound vibrated through the station as the hunters broadcast their message. Last VAR9. Surrender the defector and THE human. Both HAVVIOLATDCLAN law. Tom looked at the tools in his hands, then at Swift. Well, my new friend, I guess we're both outlaws now. Should we show them what happens when a human scientist and a rebel stalker work together? Swift's body glowed with a fierce golden light that needed no translation. They had minutes to complete their plan before the hunters attacked, and neither of them intended to surrender. The maintenance bay hummed with energy as Tom and Swift raced to finish their modifications. While they worked, Swift's translator shared more about the stalker culture, helping Tom understand what they were really facing. Clan believes hunting proves worth. Swift's lights pulsed as they connected power cables. Must kill to earn respect. Must destroy to be strong. Tom wiped sweat from his forehead as he calibrated the energy flow. But you don't believe that. Is that why they're hunting you? Swift's crystalline surface darkened, showing what looked like memories flowing across the plates. Saw other ways during space travels. Watched other species build, create, grow. Hunting wastes potential, destroys beauty. Another blast shook the station. The hunters were getting impatient. Warning, the AI announced. Shield strength at 40%. Hull breach possible in 15 minutes. Tom looked up at his alien friend, noticing how Swift's movements were becoming smoother as their repairs progressed. You said your crystal technology grows with you. Could it be used for something besides hunting? Swift's surface lit up with excited patterns. Yes, can shape matter, store energy, build ships. But Clan uses only for weapons. The alien paused, lights shifting to a thoughtful blue. You, not afraid of me. Why? Tom smiled as he connected the final cable. Humans have a weird habit of trying to understand things instead of just fighting them. Sure, you look terrifying, but you've shown me nothing but respect. Actions matter more than appearance. The translator crackled with another message from the hunters. Defies and human. Your time ends. Prepare for CLN justice. They're going to breach the station, Tom said, checking his screens. But look, the power transfer is working. Your ship's energy signature is already changing. Swift moved to the window, crystalline body reflecting the stars. Clan believes change is weakness. Tom shows change is strength. Learning is strength. Suddenly, the station's sensors detected a new energy pattern from the hunter ships. They were combining their power into a single weapon. That's not good, Tom muttered. Swift, what are they doing? Swift's colors turned to alarmed red. Breaking pattern. Clan never works together. Never combines power. They fear us working together more than breaking tradition. Tom's mind raced. The hunters' combined weapon would tear through their shields in seconds, but their desperation had just revealed something important. Swift, he said excitedly, you said your people never work together. They always hunt alone. But look what we've done by cooperating. We've scared them enough to change their own rules. Swift's surface rippled with understanding. Yes, Clan fears cooperation more than defeat, because cooperation means change, Tom finished, and change threatens their whole way of life. He turned to his alien friend with a grin. Want to show them just how scary two different species working together can be. Swift's body glowed with determined golden light. The translator spoke. Tom's mind works like crystal, reflects new ideas, creates new patterns. What is plan? Tom pointed to the power readings from Swift's ship. Your crystal technology adapts and grows, right? Well, the station's power grid was designed to handle all kinds of energy configurations, if we link them together in just the right way. He typed rapidly on his console, bringing up station schematics. We can create a feedback loop between your ship's adaptive crystals and our power grid. They're expecting two separate targets, but we can turn the whole station into one giant crystal array. Swift's lights pulsed with excitement. Like joining minds, human technology, and stalker crystal. Never been done. The station shook again as the hunters charged their combined weapon. They had minutes at most. Warning, the AI announced. Unknown power configuration detected. Station protocols cannot predict outcome. Tom looked at the complex energy patterns flowing between the station and Swift's ship. What they were attempting could either save them or blow everything apart. But the alternative was surrender, and neither of them was built for that. Sometimes, Tom said, reaching for the final power switch, you have to break all the rules to make something new. He turned to Swift. Ready to show your clan what happens when a human and a stalker actually work together? Swift's crystal body blazed with light that needed no translation. Together, they were about to rewrite everything the galaxy thought it knew about both their species. The station hummed with power as crystal energy flowed through its systems. Tom watched in amazement as sections of the walls began to shimmer with the same light patterns as Swift's body. Their plan was working. The entire station was becoming one giant crystal network. Power integration at 75%. The AI reported. Warning. Unknown energy types spreading through station infrastructure. The 3 hunter ships had stopped firing, clearly confused by what their sensors were telling them. Tom smiled. They can't tell where you end, and the station begins anymore. Swift's surface rippled with approval, but suddenly shifted to alarming red patterns. The translator sparked to life. Elder Hunter comes, most dangerous of clan. A 4th ship appeared from hyperspace, twice the size of the other hunter vessels. Its surface was deep red, covered in sharp crystal spikes that looked like ancient battle scars. A new voice boomed through the station's speakers, deep and threatening. Swift, last chance. Except dieth with honor, or teach your human FRI and DIE first. Tom felt the fear in his stomach, but kept working. That's your clan leader. Elder Hunter. Swift's lights pulsed sadly. Killed 1,000 species. Believes only strength matters. Will destroy station to maintain clan law. The massive red ship moved closer, its crystal surface forming what looked like hundreds of weapon ports. The other hunters fell into formation behind it. Tom checked their power readings. We're at 82% integration. We need 90% to activate the full crystal network. Just a few more minutes. No more minutes, Swift's translator warned. Elder Hunter preparing death strike. Ancient weapon. Cannot survive. The Elder's ship began to glow with deep red energy. Even through the station's shields, Tom could feel the heat. Swift, the Elder's voice rumbled. You were istor ONG isti of NEW generation. Now you hide behind human technology. You shame entire species. Swift moved to the front window, standing tall. The translator carried their response. No shame in learning. No shame in change. Elder Hunter fears new ways because cannot understand them. Tom watched readings spike across his console. The Elder's weapon was almost charged. They weren't going to make it to 90% power integration. Then he noticed something on his screen. Swift, look at this. The crystal patterns in the station. They're not just copying your ship's energy. They're evolving. The walls around them had begun developing new crystal formations, combining human technology with stalker biology in ways neither of them had expected. The station was creating something entirely new. Your people adapt through hunting, Tom said excitedly. But adaptation can come through cooperation too. We're proof. The Elder Hunter's final warning came through. Enough. Die with your human friend, traitor. The red ship fired its weapon, a beam of energy so powerful it made the station's shields flare like a dying sun. Tom grabbed his console as everything shook. But instead of destroying them, something incredible happened. The new crystal formations in the station's walls caught the energy, redirecting it through patterns that hadn't existed minutes ago. Station crystal network at 95% integration. The AI announced. New energy pattern detected. adapting. Swift's body began to glow with intense light, matching the station's new crystal structure. The translator struggled to keep up. Human adaptation. Stalker strength. Together creating new power. Tom watched in awe as the station transformed around them. The Elder's energy weapon wasn't destroying them. It was making them stronger. The crystal network was absorbing the attack and turning it into pure adaptive energy. Impossible. The Elder Hunter roared. What TRICKERI is DS? Tom looked at his friend, seeing the same golden light flowing through Swift's body and the station's walls. Should we show them what happens when hunting culture meets human creativity? Swift's response needed no translation. Together, they reached for the station's new crystal controls. The hunters had come expecting to find a rogue stalker and a helpless human. Instead, they were about to witness the birth of something the galaxy had never seen before. The hunt was about to end, but not in the way anyone had expected. The space around Station Delta lit up like a newborn star. Tom and Swift stood together at the control panel as the combined crystal network pulsed with power. The Elder Hunter's attack had given them exactly what they needed, enough energy to complete their transformation. Crystal integration complete, the AI announced. New protocols established. Station defense systems ready. The walls of the station had become like living crystal, flowing with patterns of light that matched Swift's body. Tom could hardly believe what their readings were showing. "Look at this," he said excitedly. "The station isn't just copying your crystal technology, it's improving it." Swift's translator hummed with amazement. Human metal and machines, learning from Stalker crystal, creating new forms. Never thought possible. The Elder Hunter's voice boomed through their communications. "What have you done to our sacred HFY stale power?" Tom smiled as he studied the new capabilities appearing on his screen. "Want to show them?" he asked Swift. Swift's surface glowed with determined gold light. "Yes. Time to teach Clan new way." Tom pressed his hand against the crystal-transformed control panel. To his amazement, it responded to his touch just like it did to Swift's energy patterns. Human and Stalker technology had truly merged. "Let's start with a little demonstration," Tom said. The station's new crystal surface rippled, and suddenly dozens of perfect copies of Swift's ship appeared around them. The hunter vessels fired at the images, but their weapons passed right through. "Coward," the Elder Hunter roared. "Face US with honor." Swift moved to the communications panel. The translator carried their response. "Honor not only in fighting. Watch. Learn. Understand." Tom activated their next system. The crystal walls of the station began absorbing and redirecting the hunters' energy weapons, turning them into beautiful light displays. Each attack made them stronger instead of causing damage. "Their weapons can't hurt us anymore," Tom explained. "The crystal network adapts faster than they can fire." The Elder's massive ship moved closer, its red surface bristling with rage. "UQORUPTOUR power with human ODWEAKNES." "No," Swift's lights pulsed strongly. "We make power stronger through change, through working together, through learning." Tom watched as the hunter ships began to circle them. They were confused, facing something their hunting instincts couldn't understand. A prey that wasn't running. A power that wasn't fighting back. "Your clan hunts to prove strength," Tom said, broadcasting to all the ships. "But look what we've created without hunting. Your crystal technology had so much more potential than just weapons." The station's walls shifted, creating beautiful patterns of light and energy that danced through space. The smaller hunter ships stopped firing, their surfaces showing confused color patterns. "Enough gamies," the Elder Hunter bellowed. "I will end this myself." The massive red ship charged straight at the station, crystal weapons forming into one giant spike. It was a suicide run. The Elder would rather die than accept change. "Ready?" Tom asked Swift. Swift's body glowed with confident blue light. "Ready. Show clan true strength." Together, They activated their final defense. The station's crystal network reached out, not with weapons, but with pure adaptive energy. As the Elders' ship struck their shield, the energy flowed into its crystal structure. The Elder Hunters' roar of rage turned to surprise as their ship's red crystal surface began changing, infected by the station's new hybrid technology. Beautiful patterns of light spread across it like a peaceful virus. What is this? The Elder's voice had lost its thunder. This is evolution, Tom broadcast. This is what happens when different species work together instead of fighting. Your crystal technology doesn't have to be used for hunting. Look what it can become. The Elder's ship hung in space, its surface now shimmering with the same peaceful patterns as the station. The other hunters watched in silence as their greatest warrior was transformed not by violence, but by something entirely new. Swift's translator spoke softly. Now clan must choose. Hold to old ways alone, or learn new ways together. Tom looked at his friend, seeing hope in the patterns flowing across Swift's crystal body. They had done more than just survive. They had shown the galaxy a new path forward, and the hunters had to make a choice that would change their species forever. 3 months after the standoff at Station Delta, Tom stood before the Galactic Council chamber. The massive room was filled with representatives from 100 different species, all gathering to witness something unprecedented. A joint presentation by a human and a stalker. Swift stood beside him, their crystal surface glowing with calm blue light. The transformation of their clan had become the biggest story in the galaxy. As you can see, Tom explained, gesturing to the holographic display. The merger of human adaptive technology with stalker crystal biology has created entirely new possibilities. The Elder Hunter, who now called themselves Guide, stepped forward. Their once red crystal surface now shimmered with peaceful patterns of gold and blue. Our clan has hunted for 10,000 years. Guide's translator spoke. We thought it made us strong. But strength comes in many forms. Human Tom and Swift showed us this truth. The display showed images of the new stalker homeworld, where once there were only weapons factories and trophy halls, now crystal gardens grew. Young stalkers learned to use their living crystal technology to create rather than destroy. A hybrid crystal technology developed at Station Delta, Tom continued, has applications in medicine, space travel, and environmental restoration. What was once used only for hunting now helps heal. Swift moved to the center of the chamber, their surface displaying memories of the past 3 months. The translator carried their words to all. Change was not easy. Many clan members resisted, but seeing our crystal power used for creation opened many minds. The council members murmured in amazement as Swift demonstrated their new abilities. Their crystal surface formed delicate structures that could repair damaged technology, purify water, or store vast amounts of clean energy. 7 stalker clans have already adopted the new ways, Guide announced. Others watch and learn. The age of the hunt is ending. The age of growth begins. An elder council member raised their appendage. But what of the stalker's predatory instincts? Can such ancient drives truly be changed? Tom smiled. We discovered something interesting about that. The stalker's hunting instinct isn't about destruction, it's about the challenge of mastery. By redirecting that drive toward solving problems and making discoveries, they found even greater satisfaction. Swift's surface rippled with happy patterns. Humans taught us that greatest hunt is for knowledge. Greatest trophy is understanding. The chamber filled with appreciative lights as Swift formed a small crystal garden in the air, its structures growing and evolving in beautiful patterns. What had once been seen as the galaxy's most dangerous weapon was now creating art. The Galactic Council hereby removes the Class X designation from the stalker species, the head council member announced. Furthermore, we propose the establishment of a new Human Stalker Research Institute to explore the peaceful applications of crystal technology. Tom felt pride as he watched Swift interact with curious council members. A year ago, everyone in this room would have run in terror from a stalker. Now they gathered around, eager to learn. Guide approached Tom privately. You knew, didn't you? When you chose to help Swift, you saw this potential. Tom shook his head. Honestly, I just saw someone who needed help. Humans have a habit of looking past appearances to find connection. Sometimes that gets us into trouble, but sometimes, he gestured at the peaceful scene before them. Sometimes it changes the galaxy. Swift joined them, their crystal surface showing patterns that Tom had learned meant joy. The translator wasn't needed anymore. They had developed their own way of understanding each other. As they left the council chamber together, Tom thought about that night on Station Delta when he'd chosen to stay behind. One human's decision to trust, one stalker's courage to be different. That's all it had taken to begin a transformation that would echo through the stars. Ready for our next project? Tom asked his friends. I heard about a warlike species in the Carina sector that everyone says can't be reasoned with. Swift's surface sparkled with laughter lights, and even Guide's crystalline form showed amusement. Together, they had proved that understanding could overcome any barrier, that friendship could transform even the deadliest predator. And that change was the greatest adventure of all. The hunter species had learned to create, and the galaxy would never be the same.